right. This is another week of the Sports Kings NFL Week 3 prediction show. I am your host, Mean Gene, and I have the Sports Kings on tonight. And get ready for a fun show, folks. Over to my right. Look, I'm thinking, I know he's pissed off. Don't let that smile fool you, okay? He's pissed, all right? I am talking about my man who is the host of the Coach's Quarters podcast, and that's going to be Jacob Meadows. What's up, Jacob?
What to do, gentlemen? I am very angry. That is not enough.
No more Monday Night Football games for the Texans. Okay, we'll talk about that later. All right. And I'll tell you somebody who is the opposite of Jacob, who is happy. Okay, this guy, he texted us all day long. He's going to brag today, but he deserves it because he had a hell of a week 2 in the NFL picks. This is my guy here who has covered the Carolina Panthers and the Charlotte Hornets in the NBA. Dustin Pfeiffer. What's up?
Yeah,
Dustin?
hey, let's not get it twisted, Gene. I'm pissed off about my team too, but I'm used to more losing than the Texans are lately. I will give Jacob a lot of credit for wearing the polo after his team's 0-2 start. But you're right, Gene. I got to bounce tonight. Listen, that little countdown music before gets me just ready to go. I just got to bounce on my step tonight. It's going to be a great show. A fantasy football win, a good week in picks. I'm riding high right now.
Yeah, you are. And that's fine. We're going to get into those picks too. So, all right, folks, look, and we should have a special guest for you tonight. Hopefully we've had him on in the preseason right before everything kicked off here. And that is Bryan DeArdo, senior sports writer for CBSSports.com. He covers the Bengals, the Steelers, and everything that has to do with the AFC North. And boy, we got some things to talk about with the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah, we absolutely do it. And Gene, it's kind of funny when we get into these injuries and the AFC North and Joe Burrow, all these quarterback injuries. Gene, I think back to some of our previous shows in the past years. How many times, Gene, have we talked about the backup quarterback being the most important player on some of these teams? Because the way these injuries pile up these days, it's almost like your backup quarterback is going to have to try to win you 1 to 2 games a season. And look here, we're going to week 3, and we've already got 4 or 5 starting quarterbacks who are in question this week.
Yeah, Jacob, your thoughts on that?
It's bad. It's one of those things. You pay the quarterback all this money, right? They're the highest paid player in professional football. And it seems inevitable. Like every team's going to have a backup come in, whether it be at the end of the season or it's in the middle of the season where you have a star player like Joe Burrow being out for 3 months. Like it's inevitable. Now it's the 17-game season. It's a curse.
Well, I don't know if we expected week 3. I mean, this is people dropping like flies right now.
No, I mean, and look, there are probably more quarterbacks that are hurt right now that are still playing. And look, I mean, we're talking about Joe Burrow. We also need to talk about J.J. McCarthy, who's going to be replaced by my guy Carson Wentz. We're talking about Carson,
and that's with Brock Purdy already being out.
Yes.
And then we're also Jaden Daniels is in question. I mean, there's just guys like crazy this week.
Justin Fields too. It's all
Fields
out.
Yep.
It's to be expected, and this is why it is so important to have a reliable backup quarterback, maybe even a third string. I mean, we've seen one team, what was it, last year? The Cleveland Browns is definitely one that has went through all of their quarterbacks. When you
Joe
get down
Flacco off the streets.
Yeah. I mean, so this is part of the game, though. Yeah. And yet the expectations are that for a fan, hey, do your job. Bring in the backup guy. Let him go in. Sometimes stars are born, too. We've seen that happen, right?
Absolutely. Next man up mentality. And
next man up.
That's where it comes into play with these GMs and these organizations to build the depth of their team. And that includes backup quarterbacks. You got to have somebody who can come in. They're not going to be as good as your starting quarterback, but they can still give you a chance to win a game.
Absolutely. So now you already know.
Let's go, Bobby.
Go, Bobby.
Bobby don't play. Bobby don't play. And I know
a little disappointed about those Raiders Monday. They came out flying around and they kind of faded out.
We are a little bit upset, Bobby, about those Raiders, but who knows? There might be, some Raiders support here in week 3. We will find out here. So, guys, okay, how about we grade the papers here? Because I know.
Oh, let's go. Let's go.
Look here. This is. I know you
put it on the
wait
screen.
2 weeks because look here. If you lost any money last week, it was probably because of moi. Okay.
Appreciate you taking ownership. Appreciate it.
My record here. Okay. I am 10-6. I was 10-6 for week 2. All right. Overall, I'm 21-11. Okay. Lord, just as long as I'm over 500, that matters. Okay. So I'm already 3 games behind here, but it's not. Look, it's early. It's only week 3. Okay. And stop with the crap. Okay.
Well, it's not only the 10-6, Jacob. Let's look at the lock 0-1, the upset 0-1. I mean, just no calls right from me, Gene, this week.
since Dustin started these stats here, I got to take this a little bit more serious now. Okay,
that's right.
And we're gonna get it right this week. But anyway,
hey, with me bouncing on a high, props to Jacob. He was 13-3 as well.
Yeah.
So.
Jacob, you and Jacob both tied there, 13-3, did well. Your upset picks, you did 3, okay, and I did 1, and you 2-1, not bad there. Your lock was good, and overall, you're looking pretty good. Jacob, how about your upset? Way to knock it out the park.
All I do is get money, Gene. That's all it is. You brought me on at the beginning to launch a gambling podcast. I know some ball, not all.
Yeah.
Crazy to think that I picked 3 upsets and the one I missed was the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, props to Jacob for picking the Buccaneers over his own team. You got to call that's a good call.
Thank you for that. Yeah. I'm 2-0 on Chiefs bets, by the way. This is I've called the whole Chiefs season so far.
And after watching that game, I tell you, man, just unbelievable. But anyway, Jacob, hey, good job, man. 24-8 overall. Dustin, you 1 game behind. I'm 2 games behind, but I will catch your asses this week. I promise. We're going to make sure we get it right this week. So anyway, all right. We always kind of like to wrap up, week 2 before we jump into the picks here as we're waiting for Bryan DeArdo. And then we have a lot of great matchups here, guys, in week 3 of the NFL. And Dustin, Jacob too, man. You remember last year, man, and over the years, Dustin, man, after week 3, it starts flying.
Yeah.
I mean, next thing you know, it's week 10.
This
is the
3, week. Yeah, buys start coming into play in a couple of weeks. I mean, it definitely gets rolling fast.
Yeah, you definitely need to start paying attention. So anything stood out in the doubleheader Monday night game, which turned out to be, pretty good. I know the East Coast went to sleep on that, Dustin. I don't know if you stayed up for that Charger Raiders game, but man,
I stayed up for it. And listen, the Raiders, they hold their own. The Chargers are a damn good football team. Let's get that out of the way first. Geno Smith, they threw the ball in some bad spots. First play of the game, interception. It seemed like they couldn't get that flow on offense. They couldn't get that downfield threat. But my biggest surprises from week 2, a couple of things that stood out to me, and we'll get into them as we get to the picks. But Gene, your Steelers. I mean, what a letdown at home after the way that offense looked in week 1. That stood out to me. The Vikings, the way they laid an egg on Sunday Night Football in their home opener against the Falcons. I mean, that's another one. And then I hate to do this, Jacob.
Yeah, no, hit it. It's fine.
Your Houston Texans are in trouble.
Bro, we suck.
They are in trouble. That's all I can say. I'll let you take it from there. But watching them, they almost came back and won. But watching that offense and how they're moving the ball, they're in trouble.
They didn't almost come back and win anything. The offensive line's playing awful. The defense is exhausted by the third quarter. And, I was excited for the C.J. Gardner-Johnson trade, right? And, we won that trade. The Eagles cut Kenyon Green immediately. But he's a liability. And we have not looked good. We're just not. Nick Chubb is one of our highlights. He hasn't had a great year so far. The Derek Gumbawale fumble cost us the first week, right? It was a freak play. It was a great peanut punch. There's a whole name for the move that was used against him. Terrific bits of play to seal that game. This week, there was no excuse outside of the fact that yours truly said that they were basically the same team as the Rams. We could have beat the Bucs. This was a beatable team. Mr. Clutch, Baker Mayfield, came back. What a terrific win on his part. But there was no reason for that to happen. And I have a feeling we're going to see more of that as the season progresses, unfortunately. So,
yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What about you, Gene? What stood out to you? We didn't even mention the Lions throwing up a 50-burger.
You know what? I'm going to say that Dallas Cowboy New York Giants game was just unbelievable. I mean, there is no way you're going to tell me that Russell Wilson is throwing bombs like that at his age and how long he's been in the league. Jackson Dart was like, oh God, I'm never going to get in the game.
Russell Wilson said, "Not so fast, my friend." He said, "I've got some ball left."
Heard the footsteps. He's like, "Not today."
It's just, but it's also what we expected because we know the Cowboys don't have any defense, and they basically, guys, guess who they look like? They look like the Cincinnati Bengals of last year.
They do because Dak Prescott's playing some of the best quarterback in the NFL for the first 2 weeks.
Right, dude. Good Lord.
I mean, they're going to give up that many points. And, that's why I think the Bears got a good chance. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But, man, I mean, if you want good offense, I mean, they finally covered the damn over like I expected them to do all year.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one of those ones every single week where I play the wrong quarterback. I benched Justin Herbert in the first week. He had a big game. I benched Dak in the second week and started Herbert, and I still won, but Dak had a huge game. So these quarterbacks are just trading performances each week.
At least you haven't started Joe Burrow the first 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's valid. That's valid.
So now we have another guest in the chat room. Okay, so Rachel thinks that Stroud looked terrible. Like Charles Barkley, terrible. He looked terrible.
Rachel, I don't disagree with you, but I'll go back to what I said into our off the air text when we text throughout these games. Any quarterback, regardless of how much talent they have, if they're continuing to run for their life every play behind an offensive line, they're going to make mistakes. They're going to speed up their process, miss receivers, make some off throws. And that's what's happening with CJ Stroud. I hate to be a broken record. And Jacob, I know you're going to get mad continuing to hear this. The Texans have failed CJ Stroud. That he showed you what he had in year one. They almost made it a run to the Super Bowl almost.
Yeah.
And you should, at that point, you should have said, my number one priority is I'm going to stack this offensive line ahead of CJ Stroud. It's the same story with Joe Burrow when we get into it with Bryan DeArdo. They're doing these quarterbacks a disservice.
Yeah, they really are. And I know we're going to talk about that. That is definitely something we need to get on. So look, we're waiting for Brian. Hopefully we can get him on tonight. I haven't received a text from him. So we need to go ahead and get started on week 3 of the NFL. Okay. Pretty soon, once the bye week starts, guys, we have a little bit more time to elaborate on these games. So for the most part, hey, for everyone's watching and stuff. And folks, hey, the subscribing to the show has just been awesome. I mean, we have doubled what we started out with, and let's just keep it coming. If you like the show, like it and leave comments. And we've got a whole lot of comments last week. And of course, subscribe to the show so you can get those notifications.
And if anybody wants to help Gene in the chat with his picks, feel free to do that.
I don't need any help in the chats. Okay. look, if you went to Vegas or if you gambled online, look, I was still 10-6. Okay. So you won more than you lost. All right. Okay. Now, Dustin and Jacob, they were 13. Look, they brought you more money.
We were division winners. You were that wild card hanging on at the end there.
All right. So, okay. One reason why we do this show on a Wednesday, guys, is because why? There's a Thursday night game.
Man, we went from a great game last Thursday to this on this Thursday.
You shouldn't have made such a big deal.
I know. That's my fault.
Okay. Look here, guys. I'm going to say this.
Yeah, this one.
I wasted a pick trying to save Mike McDaniel's ass. Okay. I'm not doing it anymore. All right. I mean, look, the Dolphins are 0-2. All right, they lose 33-27. They almost won. I mean, there was a Tyreek Hill sighting last week. I mean, things just look really good. Look, hell, on the Bills side, there was an Elijah Moore sighting. When the last time we heard that name called in NFL matchups here? So it's the 0-2 Dolphins. They have to go to Buffalo and face the 2-0 Buffalo Bills. Jacob, let's start with you.
My goodness.
Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills to cover. If you are gambling, if you win money on my picks, please break me off a small portion of it. Also, give me the Bills. So right now they're 11.5-point favorites. I'm taking all 11.5 points.
That's a lot, though.
It's not a lot. Give me the points. Yeah.
Yeah. Give Miami the points. Who cares? The only reason Miami was as close as they were last week is they took a punt return to the house at the end of the game, which subsequently they also then allowed a kick return touchdown right afterwards to lose the game. So give me the Bills. Give me the points.
Listen, Miami Dolphins fans. This is coming from an 0-2 Panthers fan, but man, to start off that season and now have to go to Buffalo, yeah, it's only going to get worse. I'm with Jacob. I think this is at the minimum a 14-point win for the Bills. And remember last week, I think we all three said, "All right, Bills, we know you're one of the best teams in the league, but that's kind of a tricky game going to New York and playing the Jets, and that game could be close." And the Bills were like, "Nah. Well, we got this."
No
and
shot.
now coming back home, yeah, I'm not going to make it my lock of the week because it's almost too obvious. But the Bills, yeah, give me the Bills. This is a beatdown.
All right. Well, hey, it's gonna be a trifecta once again. I got the Bills, and look, I don't know. Depending on how bad, how ugly this game is, Mike McDaniels may lose his job. I think everyone sees the writing on the wall. But what I'm hearing out of Miami is that ownership really likes him, and that he meets with the owners every week. So they're talking. Okay. So I mean, Mike is a likable guy. But we'll just have to see. I mean, if they get beat by say double what the spread is, I don't know. I mean, and then just how they lose, I still think
I don't think
they
he's
move on.
I don't think he's a terrible head coach. I think he's got a good offensive mind. We saw that when he took over the Dolphins. So I don't think it's this week because I don't think even if they were halfway decent, like you're going to Buffalo. But I'm looking at their next two games. Then they go home against the Jets, which is a winnable game, and then they go to the Panthers, which I cover is a winnable game. If they lose those games to the Jets and the Panthers, and they're somehow 0-5, that's when you're like Mike McDaniel. We'll probably see you later.
Well, I tell you what, guys, we have our guests in the room here, so he's in the studio. Let's go ahead and welcome the man who writes unbelievable articles. You have to read them on CBSSports.com because he knows what he's talking about. Really great stories, okay? But tonight, I'm hoping he's going to give us a little insight on what's going on with those Bengals and Steelers. We're talking to Bryan DeArdo from CBSSports.com. What's up, Bryan?
Guys, you can find me here for being a little late. I was about to hop on, and then Cody Mayock or however the Buccaneers
season.
He's out for the season, so I had to write that article. So my apologies for being a little late to the program. But
listen, Bryan, I thought you were out there coaching. I think I saw on Facebook, was it flag football or something with your kids? I've been on the baseball field with my son, so I get what you got going on out there.
Well, that's herding cattle. But you
Yes,
for soccer, as I'm sure you guys know, man, it is. If you keep them all on the field for 15, 20 minutes,
that's a win.
That's a huge win.
Hey, Bryan, man, we're glad to have you. We know, man, if you're working, we know you're a busy man out there. So look, man, hey, we just glad to be in your presence here. We just did one pick here, but we're gonna pause on the picks just for a quick minute.
You did miss Gene's record from last week where he finished in last place on the picks. So I don't know.
No, hey, as a guy that's 0-2 in 3 fantasy leagues, I can't give anybody else.
There we go. There they are on the screen.
Bryan, that's what it looks like. Okay, look, and I'm trying to get these guys under control. It's only 2 freaking weeks. Okay,
hold on a second. I'm
plenty of time to catch up.
I'm seeing 13-3, 13-3, 10-6.
Yeah. Okay. Hello. Watch how you say that 10-6.
10-4 crap. Or 10-6 crap.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. No problem with that.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
You're off the hook, Gene.
All right. Well, I mean, hey.
No hating there, man. Just more props to Jacob and Dustin. So,
hey, no problem. Look, I'm going to catch up here. Dustin is threw in these extra prop type things here and upsets and locks and stuff. I really need to take this a little bit more serious. But speaking of serious, we brought you on in the preseason and we talked about a lot. And we definitely talked about the Bengals and what they needed to do to get off to a good start, which, and then boom, last week, Joe Burrow exits the game and never returns, and then we hear that he won't be returning anytime soon. What's going on in Cincinnati?
Well, I know my brother and sister-in-law are upset because they already bought tickets to see the Bengals play in November. Now ticket prices are plummeting, so they're not very happy. But I'm looking at their schedule right now. I heard all these things they might trade for Kirk Cousins. I'm sure everybody here knows there's like a virtual impossibility that's going to happen. Like, we all know that Mike Brown likes spending money like people in Florida like coming up to Ohio in the wintertime. Like, it doesn't happen. So, like, no, they like Browning. I mean, we all know he went 4-3 as their starter last year. I'm trying to find the right word for it, but he's got like unrealistic confidence, delusional. That's the word he actually says. He says, I have delusional confidence in myself. So, like, now he had 3 interceptions on Sunday. He can't be doing that all the time, but he had 2 touchdowns and they won. And I love that. To be honest with you guys, like, and just a little behind the curtain thing. So, like, CBS is celebrating its 50th anniversary of the Today Show on, or NFL Today on Sunday. So we're doing a whole throwback to the 70s. So I'm going through the 75 season, doing a historical list. Like quarterback stats were so ugly back then; they were awful. But as I always tell my colleagues now, though, that I work with, that rip on quarterbacks from the past, like, interceptions back then weren't a big deal. Like, no one really cared. Like, that season, Kent Stabler threw 24 interceptions. They were in the AFC Championship game, for an example. But, like, so Browning, being a gunslinger, being willing to take chances, I love that, and I think that'll keep the Bengals offense a threat, and that should still make them a viable contender. That being said, though, that plays right into the Vikings' hands in Week 3, because we all see what they've been doing the last couple of weeks. Like, they're a team that's very good defensively, offensively. McCarthy's, and I think he's injured right now too. Yeah. They're not there yet. So, like, you look at that game, you can't make mistakes, expect to win. Denver, going to Denver, that's going to be a tough game. Detroit, Green Bay, that's a wicked stretch. But I don't think those are going to be hard games with or without Joe Burrow. So, like, I think they're still very, very much in it. I think for them, they've got to navigate the storm. The season, honestly, it gets a little bit easier late in the season, but it really doesn't. Like, Arizona late in the season, they're 2-0. You got Miami, so that could be a win. But other than that, New England possibly a win, Chicago possibly a win, the Jets. So there's a handful of games here that they can win. But, like, between Green Bay, Detroit, Denver, Minnesota, you've got to win at least one of those 4 games. You can't go over for 4 there and expect to have a chance.
Well, let me add 2 questions. The first one, because I don't know, for viewers, just to make sure they get the timeline. What is the timeline? I saw 3 months. So, like, he's trying to come back towards the end of the season, and is that what's happening here?
It is, but, like, the weird thing that I'm hearing is, like, it's not a guarantee he's going to come back at all.
Right.
So, like, if they're now, here's the weird part. Last year they were 4-8 and they won 5 straight. If they're 4-8 this year, is he coming back? You know what I mean? Like, I think they'd have to be, like, out of it for him not to come back, or if the recovery, as we all know, there's setbacks or things are happening, it doesn't quite work out. But, like, so they're already 2-0 right now. Let's say they split their next 2, Minnesota, Denver, which I think they'll probably lose. Well, I don't know. At their next 4 games, let's just look at their next 4 games. They got to win at least one of those games. They'll be 3-3, playing Pittsburgh Week 7, and then the Jets Week 8, Chicago Week 9, then they're bye. So they're 3-3, win 2 of those 3 games. Now you're 5-4 going into your bye with Pittsburgh, New England after that. I think they'll be okay. So I think that's what you've got to look at. We've got to find a way in the next 8 weeks to carve out 3 more wins. Can they go 3-5 or 3-4 rather in these next 7-8 weeks?
But you know what?
But to answer your question, 3 months is what we're looking at.
But Brian, I think they can. Look, this is a situation where Jake Browning was the starting quarterback, not long ago while Burrow was trying to heal from the last incident. So you got to think that his confidence is a little bit better now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he takes this team to the playoffs.
No, and like we said, I mean, they were 4-3 in 23, and it wasn't like they were playing chumps. Man, I know they had a win against Minnesota, who was in the hunt that season as well. But again, though, I think for me, when you look at this, Detroit. Now the nice thing is too, like, they've got Detroit at home. You're at Green Bay. I mean, that's probably gonna be a loss. Like, Minnesota. But here's the thing too, though. Minnesota has quarterback issues.
Right.
Detroit's still Detroit. I mean, that Week 1 game was ugly, but they're Detroit. Green Bay might be the best team in they're one of the top 4 teams in the NFL. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
To me, it's like Pittsburgh Week 7, That's a got to have it game. You got to have it.
Yeah.
You know, Aaron Rodgers, the Steelers
Up and
in
down.
your house, Jets got to have it. Chicago at home, got to have it. So there's 3 really good games. I mean, honestly, guys, they could lose the next 4 games and then win 3 very, very winnable games all at home before their bye, and they're still fine. I think this 2-0 start was monstrous for them to get off to that start.
Yeah.
Now, if they were 0-2 like they've been the last 3 or 4 years, no chance.
Then it would be
just get ready for 26. You're done.
Yeah.
And before Jacob hops in, and pretty ironic, like you said, they finally get off to a good start, 2-0, and they lose Joe Burrow. But I'm asking this question specifically to Joe Burrow, but I also want to get your thoughts for other quarterbacks around the league, as we see a lot of quarterbacks banged up going into week 3. Like, are we worried about Joe Burrow like long term? We know he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but it seems to be every year now he's got some type of injury. So are we worried about that? And the second part of that question is, and I mentioned this about Jacob Stroud and the Texans, or CJ Stroud and the Texans, and now we look at some other quarterbacks. These franchises, are they doing a disservice to some of these quarterbacks by not protecting them on the offensive line and getting beat up? And it starts with Joe Burrow, who they paid these weapons, but he hasn't seemed to have that protection year in and year out, and that's why he's getting beat up.
I got to ask Jacob a question real quick, though. Like, I was watching that Monday night game.
Yeah.
What was the deal with the Bluebirds? Like, now I'm not knocking not knocking the Houston fans, because, like, good for you. You've got a good team. You expect more out of them. But, like, what was the specifics? Was it the offense being stagnant? Like, what was the specific? What's the specific frustration right now in Houston?
It's that specific problem. It's got to be the offense. It's week 2, right? If we were 0-8, sure. But it's the second game of the season. No, that was wild. I think it has a lot to do with, it's probably to a lesser degree what I have an issue with, but it's the offense. We're anemic on offense. We did score a touchdown, which is great, right? Like, we did find the end zone this week, but it's our offense looks like Bobby Sloat 2.0, right? We bring in Haley from the Rams. He's supposed to be this great play caller. He's a rookie play caller, never done it before. Tight ends coach for the Rams, right? And he's running the same playbook. So,
but I go back to the offensive line. Like, I just feel like CJ Stroud just doesn't have the time to do what he wants to do.
That's true too.
Stroud holds the ball too long. We don't run enough quick hit plays. There's not enough screens. There's not enough quick read RPOs. Like, we run the longest developing pass plays, and our offensive line's not good. So Stroud just gets punched in the mouth day in and day out.
You can blame his time at Ohio State for that, because as somebody that went there and I watched it, he
had all day.
He looks around a lot. Now, he had all day, so he could do it, and he had all those receivers. He could do it. To your point, though, about Houston and the receivers, and this is kind of a theme I'm seeing in the NFL, is somebody that I'm 0-2 in fantasy for a reason. I took all the chances on all these rookies trying to be all smart. I'm going to get Matthew Golden. I'm going to get RJ Harvey. They suck, right? So, like, lesson learned in fantasy, get the proven commodities. You can get the rookies in week 1 off the waiver wires. I was too smart, or tried to be too smart and too cute. But I do think, like, Houston, for example, they drafted those wideouts, who I still think are going to be really could be good. But it's week 2, right? They're young. Not everybody's going to get off the bus as rookies and be awesome. Look at Caleb Johnson, the running back for the Steelers, right? Rookie, same issues. Matthew Golden, the same issues. Yeah, Mecca Buka, he's the exception to the rule, right? Like, and I think we all kind of, I forget that. I forget how hard it is. About all the quarterbacks, I do think that, like, defenses have been punching these offenses in the mouth. Like, Aaron Rodgers is taking a beating.
Yeah.
Burrow obviously is hurt. Stroud is getting beat up. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I almost feel like now, like, offenses have gotten too sophisticated, too complex, where players are thinking too much and not reacting enough on offense. Where defense, as we all know, it's reactionary, right? You're being more aggressive. Now they have a scheme too, but it's more based on being the aggressor. So, and I do think that the NFL, especially early in the season, they let them play. You don't see as many personal foul, roughing. You haven't seen that many this year at all. I don't know if you guys have noticed.
No.
Yeah, no.
I haven't noticed almost. I don't know if I've watched a game yet where I've seen a personal foul.
I've seen Patrick Mahomes get smashed a couple of times with no penalty flag. It's free play. So
guys, I will say that the NFL's got a problem, though, if they're I mean, I'm looking at all these injury reports.
Oh,
How
my
many do we
gosh.
have after 2 weeks?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, you pay to see the stars. Yeah.
Brian, you mentioned defenses here, and which is going to lead us to our next conversations. How about the team who's not playing good defense, and that's the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Hold on, we're not playing Houston this year, are we?
No, I don't think
God. I still remember that 30-6 game a few years ago. Oof. But like, you were at the game, weren't you, Gene?
No.
Oh, I saw you with the jersey on social media.
No, that was old throwback.
Old throw. All right, well, you've aged well. Sir.
Gene wouldn't go watch Aaron Rodgers in person.
I was gonna say,
that was a throwback.
I want to know your thoughts real quick on what were your thoughts on him kind of yelling at Calvin Austin on the field and then being transparent post game about what happened on that interception, which to some listeners that might not know, like he threw an interception in the red zone. It was a big play in the game. After the game, he said Calvin Austin was not intended for him. It was intended for Pat Fryermuth, who was in the vicinity. Austin, maybe in his exuberance, lunged for the ball. Rodgers laid it all out there. And me personally, I'm thinking that's probably better for the locker room to keep that in the locker room.
Yeah.
My dad argued with me, goes, no, that's good. Like, I want transparency. He's being transparent. Maybe that's his show of leadership. But what are your thoughts on that? Like, no matter what, I didn't like the fact that he stood up Austin on the field and yelled at him. I don't think that's very good.
My thoughts are that's Aaron Rodgers. We've seen him do that. We saw it in New York. We even saw it with the young receivers in Green Bay. But so that's Aaron Rodgers. He's consistent with that. So I guess it's I don't know. I mean, I didn't read a lot into it, and I'm if that was Pickens, maybe it'd be a different story. But I think Austin is gonna just gonna take it and roll with it. And I mean, that's the leadership that you supposedly brought Rodgers in for, but he's not going to hold back. I mean, when it comes to something like that, he's going to let his guys know.
No, I agree with you, and that's where I'm torn too, because it's like, do they need that kind of accountability? Do they need somebody to yell and to call it out? And let's just have it all out there, right? Like what I'm going to say in front of the media is what I'm going to say in the locker room, and we're going to keep it all 100. So I agree with you. Like, there are parts of me like full transparency. I was golfing with my dad discussing this. The first couple holes I didn't like it. By the end I go, you know what? I could be down with this. Like, we were playing horribly, so we needed to discuss something else. So we talked about football and Rodgers. The defense, though, guys, like,
it has to get better, right? I mean, all these additions.
I
don't know. Now that's who he should have been yelling at.
It should. I mean, here's the hope is that if you're a Steeler fan, is that Derek Hardman's going to come back. He played really good in the preseason. Very promising. He'll come back. That'll solidify the middle with Hayward. Trying to think what else. Like, Porter's been hurt. He comes back. That'll help. Thornhill, the new starting free safety since Minka left. Hopefully he's not really great anyways, but still. Here's where – so, Dustin, it should get better, and I think it will get better. Here's my problem. One of my biggest problems is – well, there's a few. T.J. Watt now, 5 or 6 straight games now, no sacks going back to last year.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
And they were moving him around during training camp. They're not doing that now. He's still disruptive. He still makes some TFLs and some pressures. No sacks. And they run away from him. And, guys, he's lost his step. He's still great, a top 5 pass rusher, top 10 defensive player. He's slower than he used to be. He's not getting off as fast. He's not getting to the pursuit angles as fast. Here's my biggest concern, and here's why I think while they will get better, they won't be an elite unit. And you might disagree with me on this one, Gene, because everybody loves Peyton Wilson. Everybody. He's okay. He's very good for a second-year player that was drafted the 5th round, doesn't have an ACL. All that being said, his reaction speed sometimes is off, and his pursuit angles aren't always there. But he does make good plays every now and then. And Patrick Queen was a reach. Like, I don't blame them for going and getting him, but I think we're seeing now he's better as a Batman to Roquan Smith than a Superman by himself.
Exactly. I agree with that.
It sucks to say that, but it's the truth. Like,
it is.
He doesn't he's made one splash play in 2 years. It was against the Ravens. That's it.
Almost.
Well, let me ask this then. With that being said, with the Steelers, knowing how the Browns are, now Joe Burrow's out. I mean, this pretty much just makes it pretty much a cakewalk for Baltimore just to take this division, right?
You would think. I mean, they're always one Lamar injury away, though. And like,
That's true.
You're right. And like, I'm with you. It's them in Baltimore, or it's them in Buffalo once again to like challenge the Chiefs, who are now 0-2. So it's theirs for the taking, all of it, not just that division. Everything's there for them. And I'm not sleeping on Houston, who's won 2 playoff games 2 years in a row. However, like they're right there too. Like they're trying too, but it's like right now it's like
Chargers too.
Yeah, those 2 teams.
Good.
They're always one injury away, though, right? And that's the thing with the NFL that's insane. Like, but yes, I think the Steelers will steal her, though. They'll do what they always do. They're gonna cram for those 9 wins.
Somehow.
They're gonna be right in the thick. They will. They will figure it out. But I will say, I think, I was watching that Monday night game. Najee Harris at the end was playing pretty good. For anybody that was still watching the end of that Houston game.
I mean, that game was pretty much under wraps, though. But he came in and did pretty good in garbage time.
Because Hampton fumbled and they put him right back in with one eye. That one-eyed pirate, Najee Harris.
But if that
it done, and the Steelers, I think, miss him. I like Jalen Warren a lot. I don't think he's an every down back. He's not between the tackles back, and I think with Caleb Johnson, people, and I have a jersey of Najee Harris to prove it. I always like Najee Harris.
And Gene does not like Harris at all.
I just didn't like his running.
Gene does not like Harris at all.
I didn't, Brian. I mean, there was just times when I'm looking for at least 5 yards at a minimum. Give me something, right?
Gene, I could dig it because I know where you're coming from. You're coming from like the 70s, where like Lydell,
let's
Mitchell,
get 5 or 6
Franco
or
Harris,
and put your head down and just go.
I agree with you, but like when I saw what he was, I totally agree. And I think for a 1st round pick, you're expecting Le'Veon Bell, you're expecting but you look at the game last night, and this is, I think, what Najee Harris is. He is what we saw last night. 3rd and 1, get 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah.
That's it. That's who Najee Harris, and that's what the Steelers need. That's exactly what they need. They need exactly what Najee Harris is. And the fact that his words, they told him basically midway through last year they weren't going to re-sign him, is mind-boggling to me. I agree with you, Gene. Like, there were games where he had like 12 yards rushing was a non-factor. I totally am with you. But I think we're seeing it now, like with Caleb Johnson. Running backs they won't fall off trees, like really good ones.
Yeah, so, you're right about that.
But I think both of those teams are still going to, Cincinnati, they'll still scrounge around and be in the mix somewhere, but I just think, with Denver and the Chargers are surprising.
If the Chargers continue to play defense like that, now we'll see what happened with Khalil Mack's injury. But, man, they look great.
Yes, they do.
So, Brian, this is what we're going to do, man. Are you prepared to stay on and make some picks with us?
Let's do it.
Okay, because now we've already picked Thursday night's game. Okay.
Well, that's an easy one, right? You got the Bills over the Dolphins. I mean, everybody's got that, right? Come on. Oh, Brian, Please tell me. Look at Brian's face. Can you pick the upset of the week here?
Yeah, I'll pick it. Yeah.
It's in Buffalo.
Like it's in
Buffalo.
Wait a minute.
As soon as you know, you don't know. Remember that. As soon as you know, you don't know. That's the NFL. As soon as you know, you don't know.
All right, so give us your pick. It's at Buffalo.
On Miami. I'll take them.
Oh, there we go, Gene.
Wait a minute. Is this?
Hey guys,
that's
you
the
know
upset.
my fantasy record, right? I'm not afraid to. I'm not afraid to be Riverboat Ron.
Put the graphic on the screen. Show him, Gene.
I wasn't prepared to.
I didn't put it up here yet.
I wasn't prepared. Well, we got the siren. I mean, this is the upset siren here, man. You didn't waste any time. Are you serious?
No.
You going with the?
Yes. Because as soon as you know, you don't know.
I just put it up. There you go.
There's articles from The Athletic about McDaniel getting fired and all this stuff.
There it is.
Well, good Lord, Brian. Okay, well, hey, all right. That's
how you make a statement when you make your first pick on the sports.
Again, everybody's saying they won't. That's usually when it happens, right?
Now, this is what they refer to in basketball as coming hard in the paint. Okay.
They still have Tua. They still have Tyreek Hill. They still have Jalen Waddle, I guess. And listen, this is their season. Their back's on the line. They know. And McDaniel coaches,
Yeah.
He has experience against them. They almost beat them in the playoffs a couple of
Yeah.
years ago with Skylar Thompson. So
I'll
roll with them.
I
As
didn't look
long
at
as
the
like
conference.
Dalvin Cook, or as long as James Cook doesn't run for 8,000 yards, which he
Now
might.
I do have him on my fantasy team. So
I don't think we looked at the divisional aspect of this. I think we were all just looking at how bad Miami has started, how bad they have basically looked. So
We'll see what they're made of tomorrow night. No matter what, we'll see what they're made of. We'll see what they're made of.
Let's go with the next pick, guys, real quick here. So this is the Atlanta Falcons 1-1 against the 0-2 Carolina Panthers.
Brian, you remember me saying my optimism heading into the year. Not playoffs, 500 maybe. Man, they know how to suck the life out of me after 2
I
years.
know. Let's go. I'm going to go with them too, though. I'm going to pick them.
Let's go.
You going with the Panthers?
Let's do it again. I don't feel as good at this one. I don't think I feel good about either. But again, though, the NFL's all about parity, right? Like, it's all about parity. And, like, yeah, the Falcons' new kicker looked great the other day. Could he do it again? And Carolina's, they're due.
Home opener.
They're due.
Home opener.
30-year anniversary of everything. They'll do
it. Put it on the put it on the screen, Gene.
Are we doing upset again?
Yeah, put it for Brian and put it for me because listen, I'm looking
Pound the rock.
I'm looking right in the camera and saying that this is a homer pick, whatever you want to call it. The life has been sucked out of me, but they showed us some fight coming back in that game in Arizona last week. It's the home opener, and they've got to win a game at some point. I don't care. They're not as bad as they've been down 20-3 at halftime in both games. And listen, the one bright spot, Brian, you talked about the rookies. T-Mac, Tedder McMillan has looked really good. I like what I'm seeing from him. Hopefully they can run the ball more. I'm taking the Panthers to pull the upset.
And if you stop Bijan Robinson, you can beat them.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on Penix yet. So you stop him, you can win this game.
All right, Jacob, you're where you going with this?
Playing off of what Dustin kind of said, they did have a lot of fight in them. They did almost come back last week. But with that being said, they beat the piss out of Bryce Young as he was trying to come back last week. And Atlanta's got one of the best pass rushes in the NFL through 2 weeks. I'm taking Atlanta to win this.
That is the one downfall. They're down 2 offensive line starters. Their center, Austin Corbett, is out. Now, let me get this straight. I think the backup's better. But their best offensive lineman, Robert Hunt, is probably out for the season with a torn bicep. So definitely some offensive line injuries for the Panthers.
Atlanta's defense looks good. Their offense does look okay. I'm not sold on Michael Penix. I liked him at Washington, but he hasn't looked bad. He hasn't looked good either.
That's also true. Yeah. Right.
Well, guys, I'm going to go with the Falcons. Tyler Algier, the guy looked really good last week. 76 yards and a touchdown. Although I will say,
baby, he has landed.
I will say, Dustin Pfeiffer and Bryan DeArdo, that look, Bryce Young had a career high in passes, 35. So I mean, they're not really holding him back, it seems like. But I still like the Falcons.
Yeah, no, Bryce hasn't looked as bad as he did the first 2 weeks of last year when they benched him. A couple of turnovers here and there. One, he got hit on an interception. They've just got to get more from other guys other than McMillan. Renfro finally stepped up. Xavier Legette has been one of the worst receivers in the NFL, which is crazy because he was a first-round pick last year. That's a huge disappointment. And they got to stop getting behind so they can use their 2 1,000-yard backs in Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle and actually run the football.
All right, here we go. Next game, the Green Bay Packers 2-0 headed to Cleveland to take on the winless Browns 0-2. And by the way, guys, there are 10 teams that are 2-0, and there are 10 teams that are 0-2. So this is one of each here, and everybody else is 1-1. I guess you assume that, right? So I'm gonna take this one first, okay? Tucker Kraft is the real deal. Can I say that? I'll say that again. Tucker Kraft is the real deal.
Had him on the bench on my fantasy team.
No, you did not.
But I still won the game, though.
And 124 yards.
I started McBride over Kraft. I mean, it's not like
How could you not, though, right? That made way more sense.
You got to do that.
I'm going to take Green Bay.
This is one of those ones, Brian, I kind of feel like you. It's like, man, Green Bay. I think Green Bay has looked like, honestly, besides Buffalo, probably the second best team in the NFL. But you go to like a tough place to play in Cleveland. Cleveland hung around in the first week against Cincy. It makes me want to think weird things can happen. But what I'm seeing, the reason I will still take Green Bay is not because of Jordan Love. It's because of that defense. If that defense keeps playing like that, I mean, they're on their way to a deep playoff run. So give me the Packers.
Packers.
Yeah, it's Packers. Hey, I just want to say I'm 0-2 picking against the Packers this season.
Yeah, you did have the Commanders last week.
I did. I'm a believer now. The Packers,
Okay.
baby. They're gonna barely beat the Browns.
Okay.
It might
All
be.
right.
It might be an interesting game though, because
Yeah.
with Flacco, you never know, and they still have Myles Garrett, etc.
Yeah.
You
Browns
never
can cover.
know.
7.5 point spread. Browns can cover.
Yeah.
All
They
right.
can.
So,
I think so too.
so we all in agreement on that one. How about that? All right.
Yeah.
So next game we have
Oh,
the 0-2 Houston Texans. I would say it again. I'm sorry, Jacob. 0-2 Houston Texans against a division rival, Jacksonville Jaguars. 1-1. Trevor Lawrence looks a whole lot different under Liam Cohen. And how about the rookie for Jacksonville, Bashaw Tootin?
Yeah.
Tootin'.
Kids are
Brian, who do you like?
Oh boy, tough one.
tough one.
Yeah, let's go Jaguars.
Well,
Let's go Jaguars. I mean, they almost
Yeah.
beat Cincinnati. They've looked really good. I'm not. I say that though. I don't think Houston's out yet. Like even at 0-3, that looks really bad. That division's still relatively open. I know Indy's kind of off strong, but let's go with Houston. Let's go with Jaguars. But I'm not totally done yet with Houston.
They're never out of it because of that division, like you just said. But I am out on the Houston Texans. I know it's only 2 weeks, Jacob. I'm sorry, but without Mixon, that offensive line to me is not going to get any better. I know they play. Listen, what I will say for the Texans is they play two very good teams, the Rams and the Buccaneers. So let's not forget that. But I think Jacksonville is probably kicking themselves a little bit. They didn't get that win once Burrow went out to get that 2-0 start. Being at home in Jacksonville is probably going to be hot in Florida. They've got some good pass rushers in Walker and the other guy on the other side. I like the Jaguars. Give me the Jaguars. And Jacob, the Texans are sitting 0-3.
So Houston prefers to lose at home to the Jaguars, not in Duval. I'm taking the Texans, man. I wore the shirt for this. We win this game. I think we'll be 1-2 after this week. The Jaguars, albeit a strong run game. You can say what you want about Trevor Lawrence looking improved. He looks like the same Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, and Brian Thomas has been underperforming as well.
He has. And they just – I know Bashaw Tootin went off last week, right? Had a terrific game. What an incredible game for a rookie. You can't do that every week. You trade Tank Bigsby to the freaking Eagles of all places. The Jaguars they're going to shoot themselves in the foot. They're going to lose this game by 5 points.
I also think too this can be the most physical game of the weekend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Texans games are physical, and if it is physical, that will favor them. I almost want to change my pick, but I won't.
Oh, that's the
we do
Gene
that on
special
this
if you
show.
do that, Brian.
Yeah, no, we do that. That is
Change
allowed.
it.
Okay.
Houston,
Gene
you
does
convinced me. I'm moving my pick.
Okay.
Okay.
I
All
will
right.
say, kind of like you said about Miami, and Houston's better than Miami, obviously. But this is a show me what you're made of week. Like if you're a team that's supposed to be a contender, you got to get pissed off and go out and win this football game.
Well, I tell you what, guys. In order for Houston to win, it's going to take more than 43 yards from Chubb, and of course that offense. They're going to have to do something to protect C.J. Stroud. But I'm taking the Jaguars.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm taking these guys because they look a little different.
Brian,
I mean, we're talking about the Texans in that offense, Jacob. We're not mentioning Joe Mixon enough. Like Nick Chubb, he's a decent running back, but he's not the Nick Chubb of old. Like missing Mixon is just a killer for this offense.
Yeah.
This week, I think we're going to see a little more Woody Marks. And what we really miss from Mixon is his ability out of the passing game, right?
Yeah.
Best receiving running backs. Woody Marks is good as a receiving back. Nick Chubb has never been great in the passing game. I think we'll see a little more Woody Marks. He's one of those rookies, right? Has not done well as of yet because he doesn't do anything. We still have Derek Gumbawale, but I'm telling you, I think that we're going to see a different Texans offense. I'm praying Nick Caley actually calls like some sort of like creative plays on offense, but we could see a different team this week.
All right, here we go. We talked about this team at the beginning there when Brian gave us his thoughts and opinions on the Bengals and their quarterback situation. Now we are at the Bengals, the 2-0 Bengals. They go on the road to take on the Minnesota Vikings. And this is going to be a battle of backup quarterbacks. Carson Wentz looked like he's going to get the start for the 1-1 Vikings, and Jake Browning is going to be the starter for the Bengals. Dustin, who you like in this one?
Well, this is exactly what Brian's talking about with the NFL having a problem. Like, they're here to see stars like Joe Burrow. McCarthy's not a star, but he's like a rookie first-round pick who people want to see what he's got. And you got Browning versus Carson Wentz. And it's just like, man, this could be a really good matchup. This game, I don't know what to do, man. I thought Minnesota with J.J. McCarthy, the way they came back in week 1, were like flying high, rolling into their home opener in week 2, and then they score 6 points. But I think as a veteran, Carson Wentz, I will take that backup quarterback over Browning because it's at home. Justin Jefferson, get him involved. I know Browning's got Chase and Higgins. He's got weapons too. But maybe and the Vikings defense, to me, is better than the Bengals. So give me the home team and the better defense. I'll take Minnesota.
All right.
I'll do the same, and I won't change my mind this time.
I mean,
For every reason Dustin said.
Okay, all right.
Backup quarterbacks, you kind of got to go with the better defense and the spot and
Wentz
a home.
is a good quarterback, and I think O'Connell is the quarterback whisperer. I really do. I love his quote. I always go back to his quote. Organizations fail young quarterbacks more often than they fail the organization. Yes. I love that quote. I'll take Minnesota, and that defense is a little bit better.
Yep.
Jacob?
Not a little bit. They are better.
They're a lot better. Oh yeah,
a lot better.
I like Jake Browning. I am a Jake Browning fan. I am in line with you guys. Give me Carson Wentz and the Minnesota defense. They have Justin Jettis. Jordan Naylor's been playing better. They have Aaron Jones did just leave. That'll be a big deal. Aaron Jones is hurt.
But Mason's been playing well, though.
Jordan Mason looks like a stud. Yeah, the way they talk about him on the broadcast, he's a power back.
He will go in my starting lineup for fantasy this week.
He's looked great. So, Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
A lock. Oh, what we got here, Gene?
Oh. This is going to be my lock.
Let me write this down.
Minnesota Vikings get the win. They get the win. I know we haven't been big on Carson Wentz on this show over the years, but I think he's in a good situation. And I just think, I do like Jake Browning too, and I wouldn't be surprised if they pull off this upset. I don't even know if it would be an upset, but I'm gonna take the Vikings. So this is my lock of the week.
Okay,
nice.
All right, moving it right along here. Brian, are you having fun?
I am, and my daughter, I think, is tearing apart the living room. I have so much stuff to clean up when we get off the phone. So let's delay this and string it out as long as we can.
All right. Okay.
Oh, look here, and we get to come to you and Gene's team here. Let's go.
Here we go. All right. The Pittsburgh Steelers. This is a battle of 1-1 teams. This is separation Sunday for one of these teams. Okay.
It is.
It's the 1-1 Pittsburgh Steelers at the New England Patriots 1-1. Man, big win for the Patriots over Miami. Divisional game, wasn't an upset in my opinion, but the Pittsburgh Steelers at home. As a matter of fact, the last time I was in Pittsburgh, I think I saw it was Russell Wilson Seahawks that beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh. So they lose 31-17 to the Seahawks. Brian, we're going to let you have this one first.
I'm going to be a homer. I'll take the Steelers, even though they never won in New England. I think they've won in New England twice in my lifetime. But I'll pick them. I do think that this defense, I think that their depth on defense will step up. I think Jack Sawyer's from my hometown of Pickerington, so shout out to him. Nick Herbig. I think that the pass rush is going to get home. They got to stop Stevenson. I mean, they have not been able to stop the run. First time in the Mike Tomlin era, starting the season and allowing two backs to get 100 yards against that defense. But I think that they'll come of age. I think in general, Tomlin teams do well after a loss, facing adversity. Mm-hmm. Usually after the first loss of the year, they rebound well. And it's not the old Belichick Patriots, even though Vrabel is a disciple. I just don't think that personnel-wise the Patriots have a lot, even though they have a win. I do think the Steelers will win this game. It will be ugly. It would not be one I would watch for fun. And I won't be, but I will have to watch for work. And I do think they win, but it will be ugly.
Dustin.
Oh man, you had to come to me. This is a game I truly don't know who to pick. It's like after what I saw in week 1 with Aaron Rodgers, I was like, man, Aaron, maybe the second year off of Achilles has finally kind of got a bounce back. But then we kind of see the Jets. They're kind of the Jets. And it's like, okay, they barely beat them. And then they lay an egg to Seattle. On the flip side, New England, I had them beating the Raiders in week 1 and they lost. And then they went and got a win in Miami. So, yeah, I don't know what to expect from these teams. I'm going to go with what Brian said with Pittsburgh. I said it when we asked the question. The Steelers defense to me has to get better at some point. And, Drake May is still a young quarterback. Mike Tomlin, even though in the playoffs it's been a struggle here lately, they find a way to get this done in the regular season. Close game. I think it's going to come down to the wire, but I'll take the Steelers.
Jacob.
Yeah, I hate that. I was hoping somebody would lean the other direction. I like the Patriots in this one. I like what Vrabes is doing down there. I like the way the offense is operating. Their defenses look good. They lost to the Raiders in week 1. The Raiders played well in week 1. One of the comments on one of our shows said that I was smoking dope for saying that. But I like New England this year, though. I think they have a lot of grit. I think that we're seeing more of a return to the Patriot way, which I spent my entire young life hating. But I like what Vrabes is doing in New England. I think New England's going to be good this year. I like Drake May now. The defense has been pretty good. I give me the Patriots in this one.
Now, I'm going to ask you: do you want to lock this?
No, I don't.
or you can make it an upset because they are underdogs.
Underdog, yeah, no shot. Nope, neither of those. I actually want to this week.
Okay. Well, I mean, I just want to make sure. Okay.
You can use multiple like I did last week. Don't forget.
If you're watching this show at home for gambling purposes, don't include this in a parlay. It's one of my least confident picks tonight.
I'll lock it. I'll lock it over here.
This guy.
Okay.
Lock of the week for Brian.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
If you're going to be a homer, let's just go be a homer.
That's right. You got to go all the way.
Let's lock it there. There you go. All right, let me make sure we get this.
These sounds are fun.
Get this. Like that's good stuff there, Brian. Like I said, man, you sure you didn't play basketball? Because this is what you do, man. You get into the paint, you
play, but not well.
All right, let me get my pick in here because I got notes on this one, and it says what defense, right? Even though I do agree that they're going to be at. Is this a home game? No, they're on the road, huh?
No, it's in New England.
Okay, well, I still think they're going to show up, and I'll piggyback on what Brian said about after a loss, how they can get it back together. How about Rodgers has something to play for because I think with a touchdown, right? Does he tie the record?
Favre.
He passes Favre. So this is something to and we all know how much he loved Brett Favre, right? So I guess
he didn't mention him last week when he was asked about it. Didn't even mention.
Oh, he will not ever mention that guy's name. But I think Rodgers is going to have something to play for. But I will say
TJ
Watt
gets a sack this week finally.
He should. But I will say there's one player that no one's talking about on that New England team, and that is what Keyshawn Boutte? Is that
Booty?
This Boutte? This guy's good, Brian and Dustin, Jacob. He's really good.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, solid.
Had a good touchdown. It was a really pretty touchdown catch this past week. Yeah.
But I take the Steelers, so that's
I will say you guys have done really poorly when y'all pick against me so far in this show. Every time it's pretty sure I'm the one that hits, just so you guys are aware.
Except for when you pick Washington's Commanders last week.
Yeah. The Packers aside, everything else has been good.
Look at this game.
Hey, guys, I tell you what, this matchup here is really interesting. I think it's a rematch of a divisional playoff game from last year. You got the 2-0 Rams and the 2-0 Philadelphia Eagles, the tush push Eagles. Okay, so someone's gonna lose their first game of the early season. And Brian, you know what? We talked about this, and I think when we were doing our ESPN show in Houston last year, I know we mentioned, Jacob, how it was the Rams defense that caused problems for Sam Darnold and those Vikings. And I just disagreed that everyone thought that Sam Darnold just had the worst game of his, the guy won 14 games, right? But that Rams defense was all over them, and they went to Philly and did the same thing almost, and they came up short. So, Brian, who do you like in this rematch?
This is not my lock of the week. This is my don't listen to me of the week.
Yeah.
I I do like Lake. Remember Carnell Lake?
Oh yeah, I
Son
remember.
plays for the Rams, which kind of makes me feel old, but that's okay. Wanted the Steelers to draft him. They didn't ask me because they don't care what I think, nor should they. I will. This is hard. Like, so to me, it's where the question is, what's the deal with this Eagles offense? That's my thing, because Hurts threw for just over 100 last week. A fourth of that was on one throw. Barkley. That's not an indictment against them. Like, I thought that was cool that they showed they could win in different ways. If this was in LA, I would be taking the Rams for sure.
Agreed.
I'm gonna go with the Eagles because I just think there's too many ways they can beat you, and I think that tush push is a cheat code. It really is. It's going to. There's no way it survives this year.
No way.
There is no way. But I think this and this Eagles defense, even though they've lost some pieces and they didn't play great the first half against Dallas, they've been lights out ever since that first half. And they allowed that one kind of fluke touchdown with the Chiefs, but they had that big interception against Kelsey. I just think they will find another way to win. So I'll take the Eagles.
Okay.
Go ahead, Jacob.
Put that graphic on the board. This is my upset of the week. The Rams are 3.5-point underdogs. So Kansas City, play the sound. There's no sound. Yeah. Kansas City beats the Eagles. It makes me look like a fool if it wasn't for some drop passes. That's at the end of the day, there were some drop passes that shouldn't have happened that are not. They are not what the Chiefs are used to. Well, their receiving core kind of sucks right now. But irregardless, right? That's not. They were a couple of drop passes away from beating the Eagles. The Eagles can't throw the ball. And it is the weirdest thing because Jalen Hurts has not done a lot as a quarterback the first 2 weeks. I like the Eagles, right? I've picked the Eagles to win. I don't think that the Eagles are better than the Rams. I think the Rams are better put together. They have an equal-ish defense, and I think the Rams' offense is significantly better. So give me the Rams to upset the Eagles.
Yeah, I wanted to pull the trigger on this one. I think if you guys remember last year, I took them, and they almost came through. And Gene, I told you at the start of the season to not push the panic button on the Rams because as long as Matt Stafford was out there week 1, they'll be just fine. And he's out there, and they're looking good. And I want to pull the trigger on this one so bad. I got a friend named Joel who is from Philly, diehard Eagles fan. He loves when I pick against him every week because it goes the other way. So he's going to be mad when I take the Eagles. I think this is going to be a very close game. It's not going to surprise me if the Rams win, but kind of like you said, Jacob, some of these bounces are just going the Eagles' way. The bounce off Travis Kelce's arm right into a pick when they're about to score. And then Brian mentions the tush push and how whenever they get close, they can just close out games with that. So I think I do worry about that offense. They haven't shown me a lot. A.J. Brown, can he get involved more? But at home, with that defense, the way it's playing, I'll take the Eagles.
Teams are taking away their deep pass, and
they are.
That's been the biggest alarming thing to me with the Eagles so far.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I'm going to go with the Eagles also because I like what they did to Kansas City. I mean, they basically just shut them up. Everyone's thinking, okay, this is a revenge game. I know the Chiefs wanted to beat the Eagles, especially at home, right? But the Eagles just seem to be on a mission. Now, I don't know about a repeat or anything, but I don't even think the Eagles are at, full throttle yet. I just think we haven't seen the best of the Eagles, and we're early, okay? They're at home. They know how important, this game is going to be. So what, didn't they have snow last time they
blizzard?
Yes.
So that won't be happening, okay? And Saquon
and the Rams still almost won that game.
Yep.
That's true. But you know what? I think, and this is one reason why I think the Eagles know how close they came to losing that game. I think they're going to put them away. I think the Eagles are going to. This is separation Sunday for these guys. Somebody's going to be 2-1, and the Eagles are going to be 3-0. So I like the Eagles.
Okay.
All right. The next one, guys. Wow. We got
these quick.
0-2 New York Jets at the 2-0 Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Buccaneers just win. That's all they do. But Brian, I got to get your thoughts on this, and Jacob, you and Dustin too. I mean, this is just a crazy year for Aaron Glenn and Ben Johnson, they step away from their duties as coordinators. They get the big promotion. They're head coaches now. And it's just not looking so good for neither one of them. And I think this is another week here where I don't know. I mean, Ben Johnson could be winless.
I agree. And it sucks for Ben Johnson because they easily could have won week 1. And the Jets could have won week 1 as well.
Yeah.
I will, for this game, if I may go first here. I will upset. I will take the Jets in an upset.
With Tyrod Taylor.
Oh, I forgot about that. Oh,
yeah. At least
that alarm is about to sound.
At least I caught you. See, Brian, I like to help out. I just to make sure
you're a
you
good
know.
friend. I appreciate you.
I
forgot about Tyrod. You know what? I still might.
Okay.
I mean, listen, but Tampa's got so many issues with their line.
The Jets have a good D line, Brian.
I know. So No.
Take it back.
No, I ran out of time. That's fine. I'll eat it. That's fine.
You're going with Ben Johnson
You put the logo up. I have to now.
Okay, wait a minute.
No, that's fine. I'm gonna eat it. That's what I get for
taking
being
the
15
Jets.
minutes late. That's what I get.
I mean, so Aaron Glenn gets his
Tyrod
first
Taylor,
win.
FedEx Air Player of the Week.
Well, it pains me to say this because you're right. The Bucs do have some issues with that line, but the one thing they got, man, and it starts with their quarterback, is grit. I mean, Baker. Listen, as a Panthers fan, where Baker Mayfield came through here and it was a disaster, and of course that goes back to that quote, Brian, it's more in the organization. I mean, it's just unbelievable to see what Baker's doing in Tampa to find a home again, and the way he wins games, the way he makes plays with his legs, 4th down against the Houston Texans. He was banged up, all that stuff. They just find ways to win. And I think they're going to do that again on Sunday, being back at home. Ibuka's been great, like you said. And they played 2 close games and they've got 2 wins, and that's only going to boost their confidence. And the Jets with Tyrod coming in off that disappointing, I mean, it's the Bills, but they got blown out. I'll take the Bucs to win the game.
All right, Jacob.
I think this is the one game where the upset's more likely than not, but I'm going Bucs. I like Tyrod Taylor. I think Tyrod looked good in place of Aaron Rodgers last year. Every time he came into the game got better, right? Like, he played better than Aaron Rodgers. You just can't bench Aaron Rodgers, so Tyrod didn't get a shot. I think Tyrod can lead this Jets team. I think the Jets cover no matter what. It's a 6.5 point underdog. I think the Jets cover, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets won it and lost all sorts of people money because this looks like an obvious bet on the Bucs.
Now,
go ahead.
Now, Tyrod is also injury prone, so if he goes down, who's the third string quarterback on that?
Yeah, then it doesn't matter. Right?
You probably don't even want to know.
Yeah. But
Ibuka didn't practice today.
Oh, that's big.
So, he's got like 2 different injuries going on, and Baker practiced, but he's injured. I will say I allowed their GM because because even with all the injuries on the line, they just move people around and it doesn't miss a beat.
Yeah, next man up. And
Gene's gonna hate that I say this because he said it in our text chat today that he doesn't want to hear any MVP talk after 2 weeks. But tell me right now, Brian, that Baker Mayfield's probably not in the top 5 of the MVP the way he's gritted his team the first 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah, I think for whatever reason, there's a narrative about him that isn't popular. I don't really get it because I like him. I really like Baker Mayfield.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what it is. I think that right now Herbert would probably win it.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Baker should be in the conversation. 100%.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this guy, given a fair chance and an opportunity, he makes the best of it. And look, I knew that you give this guy the ball in 2 minutes. I mean, that's his favorite time of the year. I mean, he lives for moments like that. I knew the Texans were done when he had the ball with under 2 minutes. I mean, he's going to do what Baker Mayfield does, right? Yeah. So. I'm going to go with the Bucs too. Is this their first game at home? I want to say it is.
It is. They were in Atlanta and then they went to Houston. So
I mean, come on, you got. Look, they're going to fire that damn cannon. Almost like I sound this damn alarm here. That's what they're going to do, right? So yeah, there we go.
Gene's having way too much fun with the sound
next week.
effects.
We're gonna have a cannon, okay? Just for the Buccaneers. So all right, I got the Buccaneers. All right, this next game. Oh my goodness, you talking about a team who we didn't talk a whole lot about in the preseason because I think we did our AFC South picks, and I'm almost certain we all picked the Texans. I think we have it written down somewhere.
We did.
But I do recall mentioning, guys, when the late Mr. Irsay passed away, and you know how much that man meant to that organization, and I just thought that this Colts team had the potential to come out and just play, play for Mr. Irsay, and it seemed. I mean, that was before we knew that Anthony Richardson was gonna just get beat by.
Danny
They call him Indiana Jones now, right? That's so we didn't know Indiana Jones was going to end up being the starting quarterback there in Indianapolis. But the Colts, man, they are 2-0, and this is an AFC South division game. Titans at home, 0-2. Brian, I mean, what are your thoughts on Indianapolis?
I mean, yeah, and what a great nickname too. I mean,
that is great.
Can't beat that. But I like it as a running back fan, the kind of return of Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
Like, people forgot about how good he is. He's awesome. He's a great running back. He's showing it now. That line's always been good. They've had some transitions the last couple of years. That defense is always solid. I mean, they're never like top 5, but they're always solid. And that receiving core is really good with Pittman and Pierce. They're really underrated. And now with the rookie tight end they have, like, I always thought if he was in a good position, he'd be good. And we all saw him win a playoff game in 22. It's their only playoff win for the Giants since they beat the Patriots the second time in a Super Bowl. So I like everything they're doing. And like I want the Titans to do well. I like Cam Ward a lot. I like their coach. He's from Cincinnati. And I can see them winning this game because it's in Tennessee and they have decent pieces. I just think the Colts are, and again, this is like a show me weekend, like show me who you are. For the Colts, if you are legit, this is a game you win. Mm-hmm. You don't lose to teams you're significantly better than. I don't care if it's on the road. So I think for them, this is a big character game. And so, yeah, I'll take the Colts in this one.
Jacob.
I actually agree with everything Brian just said. It's a gimme game, right? Like, it's you either, if the Colts are legit, they will stomp the Titans. Yeah. Like, that is just personnel wise. The Colts are far and away better. They are the better roster, both sides of the ball and special teams. Jonathan Taylor has emerged as the Jonathan Taylor of old, and he looks tremendous on the field. Danny Dimes is slinging it like I always knew he could. You can play it back and listen to our old shows and hear me rave about how good he is, how the organization loved him. The Colts should win this. I'm taking the Colts. I like the Titans. I like Cam Ward. The Colts are a better team.
Is this your lock?
No.
Wait. Okay.
Sure.
I'm not Dustin?
Well, first of all, let me apologize to the Colts because I had them finishing last in the AFC South. So I will fully admit that I was wrong on that. Even after 2 weeks, I don't think they'll finish last. I like what I'm seeing. Danny Dimes is playing great. They're playing great. But their first 2 games were at home. This is their first road game of the season. So they are definitely better than I thought. But let's pump the brakes. The Indianapolis Colts are not legit. Are they better? Yes, but they're not legit. They're not a contender. I'm not going that far yet after 2 weeks. And I know that we've had a lot of Tennessee Titan upset picks. I picked them week 1 against Denver. They hung around. Gene picked them last week against the Rams. It didn't come through. But please put the damn graphic on the screen, Gene, because I'm taking the Tennessee Titans.
Is this an upset?
Yes. Tennessee Titans to get this win. It is the Colts' first road game. The Titans, Cam Ward's only going to keep getting better. I know he's getting pressured a lot, but I keep going back to this quote that Brian said at the start of the show. You think you know, and then something happens. Like, you just don't know. These are these kind of games. And again, the Colts are I'm going to say it for all the Colts fans. They're way better than I thought. But it's not like we're saying they're one of the contenders in the AFC. They can go on the road and slip up. Give me the Titans.
Do you have stock in Tennessee whiskey, or what the hell is it with you in Tennessee?
Cam Ward. I'm just telling you.
I think you see Bryce Young and Cam Ward, and like you don't want to see these number 1 overall picks like struggle, right? And so and I like Ward. He's gritty, he's tough. I don't want to see them.
He's getting pressured a ton. I will say that.
Absolutely.
I just I don't want to crown the Colts yet, and I feel like people are starting to do that. And I think this is one of those games where they may lose, and then people go, "Oh, they are good," but let's not go that far yet. They still got a lot to prove.
It'd be great for the division and the Texans. So
you need it, Jacob.
True. That is true. I'm going with the Colts. I believe it. I'm believing in this team. I believe in the leadership of Daniel Jones there, and seems like they're on a mission there. So we will see. I mean, Sunday's going to tell all.
One word answer, because I know we're moving picks fast. Right now, who would be your pick to win the AFC South? One word answer.
Oh, Colts.
Colts. Jacob.
Yeah.
So you're off the Texans winning the division.
No, if they're 2 games, sure. My pick's still the Texans, but looking at the pool of work that I have to choose from, the Colts are way better right now.
Yeah,
they're the most reliable team right now, given what they have.
Okay,
all right. Here we go. We have the Las Vegas Raiders 1-1, playing on a short week. Seems like it, right? And they will be taking on the other 1-1 team, and the Washington Commanders. Who? What's the status? You guys on Jaden Daniels? I mean, is he a play?
Questionable.
It doesn't look like it, and if he is, he's going to be very immobilized.
Yep. And who's the backup?
Mariota.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oregon legend.
Okay. Go ahead, Gene. You go first on this one. Go ahead.
No, you go, because I gotta. No,
I'll go.
You go.
All right, go ahead.
One.
Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so this is a rematch of Super Bowl 18.
Yes.
Who won that one? Gene, do you remember who won that one?
That should have been the Raiders.
Yes. I'll go with the team that won that one.
Okay.
I'll go. I mean,
I know I was the only one living at that time, right?
We were close. Dustin and I were close.
We were. Jacob, what about you?
Are you yeah. No. So this
is a tough one.
So it's going to be. It's technically a second upset. I'm with Bobby. Just give me the Raiders. I like it.
Put it on the screen.
If Jaden Daniels is out, I don't think there he is. I don't think Mariota can beat the Raiders. Their defense is phenomenal. And you know what? Last week we got the Geno Smith that throws a bunch of picks. You get him 2 or 3 times a year. He comes out like a gremlin, right? But then he goes right back to being normal Geno Smith. That's a pretty above average quarterback. I like them. I like the Raiders here.
Well, I think it's more than 2 or 3 times a year. Geno has a problem protecting the football. I will say that. I like Geno. Geno's made a nice comeback. He's a very good starting quarterback in the league. But that game, I know it was the Chargers. The Chargers are very good. But I don't like how that Ashton Genty's close to getting going, but he's not getting going as much as I thought he would. And Washington has a pretty good run defense. Mariota's an established backup. They laid an egg against Green Bay this past week. They had a little bit of extra rest after that Thursday night game coming back home. Raiders coming across country. Give me the Commanders to win the game.
All right, Dustin like the Commanders. So, all right, guys. Well,
this is where Gene does what he does.
Where
he's putting it up. Okay,
there we go. Upset comes. This is my upset. Okay,
all right.
And I'm rolling with you, Bobby. Bobby, look, we haven't been on the same page all year, but I'm with you on this one, okay? I just think Pete Carroll, seems like him and Geno were just trying to communicate on the sidelines and get things going. I mean, he just had a horrible game, and it sucked that it was at home. Maybe he can use the road trip there, and because this game is in Washington, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I think he can use the getaway. Sometimes you just got to get away, from Allegiant Field, and I think Geno gets it done.
Tom Brady gonna give him the plays again, or how's that?
Exactly.
Well, yeah. Well, if Tom Brady is gonna give some advice, damn it, he needs to move on with it. Give the advice.
That's a story. That's a story for another day. But that is not a good look. That is not.
I know that's kind of weird. All right, so here we go. Next game. We have an AFC West matchup here now. Look, this is. I'll tell you what, the Chargers. I mean, the schedule makers were not kind to Harbaugh. This is their 3rd division game already. They're 2-0. They're at home, or I guess you can say they have a home. I really don't think they have a home at SoFi, but they're 2-0 now. They might have some fair weather fans come on. And the Denver Broncos, 1-1. They're gonna take it to SoFi Stadium here. Dustin, who do you like here?
Well, for the record, Brian, Mean Gene and Jacob both picked the Broncos to win the AFC West.
Wow.
I will say that. And I have said that I like what Sean Payton was doing, Bo Nix year 2, but some of these year 2 quarterbacks, they have kind of a little bit of a drop back out of the norm. And I haven't, the Broncos, they were close last week against the Colts, but I just haven't seen, obviously, their best football yet. I'm not going against the Chargers. I think they're right now, to me, if I had a top 3 in the NFL, we're probably talking Eagles, Packers, Chargers is probably the top 3 teams that's been the best through 2 weeks of the season. And this is only a 2.5-point spread. Gambling people out there, I would put good money on the Chargers covering that 2.5 at home. The way that defense is flying around, Bo Nix, like I said, hasn't been as efficient. I think they can cause some problems. The run game still a question mark for Denver. I like the Chargers to win the game.
All right, Brian.
Tough. I could go either way. I could see Denver coming in and pulling the upset. Play some good defense. Get Herbert flustered. That running game is going to have to. Both teams, for me, this game comes down to the running game. Neither team, RJ Harvey, as I mentioned, has not done much for my fantasy team. I think he's released now, so you can get him if you're in my league. I will go with the Chargers though because of everything you said, and I think they are a legit team, and I think that passing game will still get to another level. And I do think that there are some issues with Denver. I mean, you're seeing Peyton and Nix kind of squabble with each other. So I think could be some internal issues there. I mean, Peyton is a Parcells disciple. His shtick can kind of get stale quickly.
Yeah,
so,
true.
Yeah, I'll take the Chargers in this one. But I could really go either way. I could see Denver upsetting them, but I'll pick the Chargers.
A little Keenan Allen resurgence, too.
Yeah. How about that? Jacob.
Sitting out there all summer. Nobody signed him.
Yeah,
exactly.
I know. I was shocking. Jacob, who do you like?
I did pick Bojangles Nixon to win this division early on. The Chargers have looked phenomenal, though, and I'm going to ride with I have to ride with the Chargers. Khalil Mack's hurt, just went on IR. I don't think it matters. The Denver offense is not as good as the Chargers defense, and the Chargers offense is top 3 in the AFC, which Denver's is not. So give me the Chargers to win this.
And could you imagine if the Chargers had their all-pro left tackle? I mean, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah, you're right about that. All right, we all are in agreement that the Chargers will go 3-0, and I tell you what, by winning this game, I mean, look, they it's just going to put them in a good place to win the division. So so we should see. I know they got rematches with everyone in the division. Okay, so next game, we have the 0-2 Saints against the 1-1 Seattle Seahawks. So look like the Saints. They lost to the 49ers in a winnable game last week. And looked like Seattle was able to go to Pittsburgh and beat up on my Steelers. So what do you know? They're back home now. So who you like, Brian?
Seattle. I'm very confident in this one. I just saw what they did, and I'm not going against them. I like
so this sounds like a lock.
Lock.
Yeah.
Okay, let's lock it. All right, let's lock it.
Go ahead and hit it one more time, Gene, and leave the lock up there because this is my lock of the week as well. And honestly, if you watch this show every week, you probably could just put the lock of the week up for whoever the Saints are playing, and your lock of the week is probably going to be a good record. Sorry, Saints fans, but I'll keep it moving. Seahawks win this game.
You can take the graphic down for me. I'm not going to waste it.
No, you're not. You want to save it?
I'm saving it for a different team. Seahawks. Okay. There's no way. Spencer Rattler looked good last week, but not.
He did look good last week.
Yeah.
But you're going with the Seahawks, though, right?
Hell yeah.
I mean, 7.5-point spread. I'd probably take that at home in Seattle.
All right, so let's talk about this game here because
Gene, you're taking Seattle, right? Gene always does this.
I am taking Seattle. I was looking ahead here to this game here because I'm all about Ben Johnson and Aaron Glenn because I think they never should have left. Even though I know the opportunity when it's presented, you have to take it. But I think these guys should have stayed in Detroit. But anyway, next game we have is the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah,
1-1. And they are going to Chicago to take on Ben Johnson's 0-2 Chicago Bears, Caleb Williams. Brian, Dustin, and Jacob, the Bears are just I don't know. I don't see where Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams are on the same page. And there has been rumors. I talked to my nephew, Anthony. We had him on the show, Jacob. You remember nephew Anthony came on? So I mean, there's just crazy rumors out there that, that Caleb Williams may not be the quarterback for Ben Johnson's offense. So, Brian, what are you hearing?
Yeah, I think the issue is Ben Johnson kind of runs a complex scheme. I mean, I think like Caleb Williams needed like a Bill Walsh or a Mike Holmgren, where like Ben Johnson's almost like you need like he's like your master's program like professor, where Williams probably needed somebody that could kind of help him with more of the nuances. I think Goff and Johnson, like you maybe alluded to, they were a really good match because I think Goff was already experienced. He could master the intricacies of Ben Johnson offense. I think Johnson's really good with the system and quarterbacks that are already established. I don't think building an offense and a team from the ground up is his shtick. I'm not knocking him because again, that was a good opportunity. But yeah, like every game in the NFL seemingly except for the Saints game, I could see this game going either way, especially because Dallas now people are back on the bandwagon. But that Dallas looks really good, especially on offense. Like Javonte Williams he's wearing 33. He looks like Tony Dorsett out there. It bums me to say this, but George Pickens looks good. The receiving core looks good. The defense, and the weirdest thing is like you wonder if there is some legitimacy to like some of the reports about the Cowboys, some Cowboy players in the locker room being okay that Micah left because like other guys are now getting paid, like their linemen and whatnot. So yeah, I like Dallas in this game, and yeah, I think that there's certainly some issues within the Bears locker room for sure.
Dustin,
do I have to pick a team, or can I just take the over 50.5
Yes.
points?
We're with you on that.
Points galore. I mean, listen, this is like Brian said, this is a toss-up game. I could see going either way. I've said it for 2 weeks that I don't give Dallas props a lot of times, but props for how they've responded. They honestly should have probably won week 1 in Philly, and then they get a win, even though it was a high-scoring game. I do worry about that defense. Again, it goes back to points, but you got a Dallas team who gave up 37. You got a Bears team who gave up 52, so you just don't know which way it's going to go. The X factor, honestly, is Dallas's kicker who can make it from wherever he wants to from the locker room. So, I mean, you got to think about that. But I'm not going to – it's an underdog, but I'm not going to put it as an upset of the week. I'm going to take the Bears. At home, I'm hoping that with a rough defense, that the Bears can put up some points. Ben Johnson can find a way. Because like Brian said, if they go 0-3, I mean, again, I don't think they were expected to contend, but they were expected to be improved. And if they go 0-3, it's, how Chicago is. It's going to be a bad look. So just because of Dak Prescott, I've said it. Talk about MVP candidates. He's played some of the best quarterback in the NFL for the first 2 weeks. So a lot of props to him. But high-scoring game, and I'll get Ben Johnson to get his first win.
All right, Jacob.
The script writers always write the script so that divisional games are played harder than normal games. Dallas has played 2 divisional opponents their first 2 weeks. Dallas is about to beat the dog piss out of Chicago.
Only a 1.5 point spread.
Yeah. I don't care. I hate the Cowboys. I've talked more good about them this year than ever before. Dallas is going to smother Chicago. There's not a clutch bone in Caleb Williams' body, and I'd be on the lookout for him to get traded to Miami. If he's getting traded, I think Miami is a good suitor for him. That offense is a lot easier to run. And who knows, Tua could be good for Ben Johnson in Chicago if they swap 1 for 1.
It's a great idea. That's a really good idea.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Oh, hey, Jacob.
Caleb's another guy that holds onto the ball too long. I mean,
Yeah, he does.
He's fast, and his brain's not scrambled.
I got the Dallas Cowboys. I was what I saw Sunday. I mean, like we said, I think they are like the Cincinnati Bengals of 2024. I think they're the defense is, we saw what the defense did. They're going to give up points, but they're going to probably win in the shootout, right? So I take the Cowboys.
I mean, let's not get it twisted. They did let a Russell Wilson, who we thought was going to get benched, go out there and absolutely light it up. So don't think that they can't give up some points. I mean,
an amazing. All right, how about the AFC, the Wild Wild West? Now, Brian and Jacob and Dustin, I know you guys can remember not so long ago, this was one of the most exciting divisions in all of football. And it seems like they're bringing that excitement back. They're a part of their 2 of those 10 teams that are 2-0, and somebody's going to lose their first game. You got the Arizona Cardinals at the San Francisco 49ers. And who's the quarterback for the 49ers?
How about Mac Jones, 339 yards and 3
How about
touchdowns.
that, huh?
Good.
All right. Jacob, you take this one first.
Yeah, San Francisco beat Seattle. I was going to hang my hat on that, but it was with Brock Purdy. I like the 49ers to win this. Arizona has not beat anybody. Sorry, Dustin. Carolina sucked that game.
Well, Carolina honestly almost came back and won the game. So
they did,
right.
The team wanted to win that game, and Arizona accidentally did it. So I'm taking San Francisco to win this game. Arizona's not good, Gene. I'm sorry. I know you want them to win the division, but I don't.
I'm taking the 49ers as well. I just what I saw from the Cardinals last week, like again, they won, which is good because you're 2-0, but that wasn't a great performance against the Panthers. Let's just be honest. And listen, Mac Jones, again, we talk about systems, Kyle Shanahan, and we talk about O'Connell, these guys, you can put a guy back there, and we talk about backup quarterbacks being competent. Guy goes out there, McCaffrey only has 55 rushing yards, and he throws for no interceptions, 3 touchdowns, 300+ yards. I know it was against the Saints, but that's better numbers than what Brock Purdy was putting up. So and he didn't have Kittle or any of that. So give me the 49ers at home.
All right, Brian.
This game to me comes down to Kyler Murray.
Yeah,
I mean, 5-6 years ago, we thought he was right in the mix of all the best quarterbacks in the league. We all forgot about him. He has some seasons where he was hurt and stuff, but you can't beat a team in your division with a backup quarterback, even though Mac Jones played good. Come on, man. If they lose this game, I will never pick them again, ever. Ever. So in 20 years from now, I won't be picking them. That might be a little too far, but come on, Kyler. This is your time. Do it. And I do think now that there's a film now of Mac, that should give Arizona a chance.
Sure.
And they haven't given Marvin. They've been doing all this with Marvin Harrison Jr. Not really being that.
He had 2 catches last week.
Right. So for me, this is a grow up game. This is put your boots on and let's move up a weight class, Arizona. So I'll take the Cardinals.
And Murray's been there for a while. I agree with you on that. I'm going to take the 49ers, but I do agree that, offensively, it seems like they have the weapons here, especially with the 49ers being banged up. It seems like they would take advantage of this. Connor is always going to give them what he does, and I think the expectations for Harrison are there. And then you got the tight end, McBride, right? So they should win this game, but I just don't trust them.
If not, then we know who they are.
That's true.
It's a prove it game for them. San Francisco, we know they'll be fine, but Cardinals, this is a prove it game.
All right. How about this game right here? I think this is our Sunday night game here. This is what we're going to be watching Sunday night at MetLife Stadium there as the 0-2 Giants now. And then, boy, what an interesting situation for Brian Daboll, because as good as Russell Wilson played last week, you still lost, and you still got Jackson Dart on that bench looking to see, okay, hey, put me in, coach, put me in. And then you have the Kansas City Chiefs who, I look, Brian, most of us, well, I don't think Dustin did. I think me and Jacob kind of felt like the Chiefs would take a step backwards. And all of that close games last year that they should have lost is starting to catch up with them. And then after they get just manhandled in the Super Bowl and then have to face that same Super Bowl opponent and you still lose, Kansas City is 0-2 for a reason. So what are your thoughts on this game?
This is the perfect bounce back game. 0-2 team. People are now counting you out. Patrick Mahomes just turned 30. People might be putting him on the back burner. No, this is a game where they come out and they rip it. They do. And again, they just played the Eagles, a tough team. They had a tough start to the season, who they had to play. And again, like you alluded to, Jacob, it was a lot of self-inflicted wounds in that game. Even though their receiving core now is down and out, but they drop passes. If Kelsey catches that ball, they win. They probably win that game. Right?
And Worthy's back this week. Worthy's
back. Yeah. I got to see Pacheco do something. He got hurt. He has not been the same.
Yeah.
But he hasn't been the same since he got hurt.
No, I noticed.
he was an underrated part of their back-to-back teams, and
Mhm.
he hasn't been doing it. He needs to get back in it, but that defense is still great. Better than last year, I think. And I think this would have been my lock. I think I already used it. This has to be who you're saving for, Jacob. I like the Chiefs in this one. Easy. I don't know what the point spread is, but give it to the Chiefs. They're going to win this game easy.
All right.
I think I forgot to say my lock. Yeah, I screwed that one up.
Yeah. Have it. Well,
It was
Throw it up there.
Chicago. Dallas was my lock. It's written on my notes. I'll use it for this one. Give me 2 if you must, because I do think Dallas beats the mess out of Chicago. But
you want to lock this game here?
Sure. I'm in full agreement with Brian on this. I think Kansas City last week because I picked them to lose. I had the Eagles to win, and Kansas City heard it, and they were like, we're going to do this guy solid. Kansas City is going to win this week. I like the Giants. The script writers write the script so that division games are played better. The Giants will not bounce back and look the exact same this week. There's no way Russ throws for almost 500 yards in 2 games in a row. He didn't do that. Right. So give me Kansas City. They have arguably a better defense. I do like the Giants defense this year, but
I do too, yeah.
Much better offense. The Giants are a Saquon Barkley away from being good. If they could trade for that guy.
Don't mention that name in New York. Don't ever mention that name in New York again.
It's a 6.5 point spread. That's what the spread is. So it's under a touchdown.
Yeah.
So listen, I mean, I know Gene and Jacob, I know Jacob picked the Chiefs as a lock, but they're kind of stomping on their grades. From the start, they said the Chiefs are going to take a step back. But guys, they lost a 1-score game to the Chiefs or to the Chargers, and they lost a 3-point game to the Eagles.
Yeah.
And then they play the Ravens next week. So they got 3 of probably the 4 or 5 best teams in the NFL in the first 4 weeks of their schedule. So let's calm down a little bit. They're still the Chiefs, and they almost won some of those games. I mean, at home on a Sunday night, I can see the Giants hanging around for a half, maybe 3 quarters. But I like the Chiefs. Worthy's coming back. And like you said, and especially, Brian, with Baltimore next week, I mean, you have to get this game if you're the Chiefs. And, again, they played some good opponents. And the Baltimore game's at home next week. So get this win, and then you go into Baltimore hoping to get back to 500. So I'll take the Chiefs. Let's not write them off just yet. They played the Chargers and the Eagles.
I won't write them off. I'm just saying that, I just see that things are starting to catch up with them. But you did say, Brian, that Patrick Mahomes, we know about birthday games, right? Birthday games tend to be a little bit, different. So we should see. But I'm going to take Kansas City to win this game. All right, guys, it's the last one. It's the Monday night football game, and you would think that either one of these teams would have been undefeated at this state in the young season, but that's not the case. Both of these teams are 500, trying to get over the 500 mark. The Detroit Lions, 1-1, coming off a huge win against the Chicago Bears. They would take it to M&T Bank Stadium to take on the Ravens, who are 1-1. They win big over the Browns last week. So, Brian, what do you think about this good Monday night football game?
I think the Ravens win if they don't Raven.
Yeah.
And here's something that is nuts. I saw this. I don't know if you guys saw it. Lamar Jackson now has the highest passer rating career-wise in NFL history. So much for a guy that's just a runner, right? That's amazing. He'll never get the props he deserves unless he gets a chip, which is unfortunate for him. But they'll win as long as they don't Raven. They got to just take care of the ball, close the game out. There's no reason why they can't win this game. Their defense is better than the Lions. I think the Lions, this should be a great game. I think this is – and Lamar always puts on a show on prime time. I'm expecting that. I think likely might be coming back, which would help them a lot because he's obviously a huge part of their offense. But no, I'm excited to watch this game. I'm a huge fan of Lamar's, even though I am come from Steeler land. I like Baltimore in this game. It should be a very, very good game, though.
Dustin.
Yeah, should be a good game. It's a good primetime game compared to, like you said, what they're kind of putting on Sunday night. So, and listen, I mean, Derrick Henry in that blowout only had 23 yards last week. So he's going to be ready to run the ball as well.
Yes,
as long as St. Brown can put up those numbers he did last week, I'll probably win the fantasy championship. So let's hope he goes out and gets 3 touchdowns again. But I'm going to take the Ravens at home. Just because the Lions went and beat up on the Bears. I mean, it's good that they bounced back. They needed that. And I'm not completely off the Lions. They are a team I think might take a little bit of a step back, but the Ravens at home, like you said, as long as Lamar does what he does. Listen, in that game, I didn't even watch that game against the Browns because I knew it was going to be over, but Lamar was efficient, 225 yards and 4 touchdowns. I mean, he's just already lighting it up again. So I'll take the Ravens at home to get a win.
Jacob.
Ravens win 37-34. It was a great Monday game. The Ravens are just I like the Lions, but Chicago sucks, right? Like they got waxed for a reason. They're gonna get waxed this week for a reason. Baltimore's the better team.
So look here, guys. So okay, Dustin, you mentioned about Amon-Ra St. Brown. I know you need all of these points and stuff for the fantasy league. But look, Jared Goff was responsible for all of that, right? Last week, 334 yards, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. He had the best quarterback rating you could probably have, right? So you guys really think that Baltimore's defense is going to slow him down that much? Look, I got Baltimore too, but I think this is going to be a game for the ages.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a game for the ages. I just don't know. I don't see Baltimore. I mean, both of these teams. One put up 41 last week. The other one put up 52. I mean, I can see a similar type game here. I just don't think you're not going to slow. Once Goff gets going, it just seemed like he has some consistency when it comes to these good games, in my opinion. So I'll take the Ravens, though, and I think it's going to be a hell of a Monday night game.
But you talk about weapons for the Ravens. Last week, Lamar threw 4 touchdowns, and none of them were to Zay Flowers or Rashad Bateman. 2 of them went to Tez Walker, the young receiver. And you had Tylan Wallace catch a touchdown. Mark Andrews had 1 catch for 2 yards. They got a lot of weapens that Lamar Jackson can feed the ball to now.
And I do think there's going to be a Mark Andrews sighting. At least I'm hoping there will be, because, I mean, good Lord, I didn't expect Hopkins to be utilized so early.
Yeah.
And the Walker kid, I'm like, he's one of those guys where you say, who the hell was that? Where'd that guy come from, right?
North Carolina kid, yeah. So Gene, am I allowed to ask for fantasy advice with Brian against y'all in our own league here?
We would be
able to do the same. Brian, you got some advice for any of us?
Well, Brian, my question.
I don't know why you'd ask.
Well, my question is, Brian, I have Dak and Herbert, and first week I played Herbert, or I played Dak, and Herbert lit it up.
What I'm going to tell you to do.
Second week I played Herbert because he lit it up week 1, and then Dak was on the bench and had a big game. So it seems both quarterbacks are playing good. I won this week, but it seems like whoever I don't pick has the bigger game. So do I take Herbert against the Broncos, or do I take Dak against the Bears? Obviously,
Dak
probably
against the Bears.
Yeah,
Dak against the Bears.
Wow, the Bears.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, Dustin, I mean, it would be the matchup. This is what we set up here and talk about.
I know, but I'm just saying.
You knew the answer to that question. I mean, who has the better matchup, right? That's the answer every week in fantasy football.
Herbert is at home indoors, so he has some advantages. Defense he's familiar with. There are some advantages, but let's go with Dak for sure.
But the Bears are who we thought they were.
They are.
That's true. Bears fans are miserable after 2 weeks.
Hey guys, Brian, man, as always.
Thanks, Brian.
Thanks for coming on, man. We appreciate
with you guys.
You got some wild picks, and who knows, you might win the damn week. Okay.
No, I doubt that. I'm excited. That's why I'm saying I saw your record 10-6. Like, nothing to be ashamed of.
You probably do better than me. Okay.
Wait, we have one more prediction to make. Over under 1 hour of Brian cleaning up the mess that his daughter made.
Over.
Oh yeah.
Under tonight, because I'm going to sleep.
I'll say we're gonna let you get to those duties, man. But hey, we're gonna have you back on here, and we look forward to having you, man. And keep up the great work, man. Your articles are off the chain.
Appreciate it. No, always good to be on with you guys. Good seeing you guys.
Thanks, Brian.
Have a great night, man.
All right, folks. Bryan DeArdo joining us from CBSSports.com. And I tell you what, man, Brian is look, hey, I didn't know he would stay on with us to do the entire picks, but hey, we got the show done. I know it was a little long, but hey, when you got an expert from CBS on your show, you have to, allow for that extra time. But hey, guys, great picks here. And we're gonna come back here. I guess there's a recap show. Me and Dennis Sharma one of the other sports kings. I guess we're gonna do a recap show. If he can't do it, we'll do it with one of you guys. But we'll do that recap show.
Yeah,
and,
like and subscribe. Everybody's been doing great with the support. And like Gene said, this show went a little long tonight because we did have a guest. But listen, we've got you can always kind of scroll through. We've also got the short videos that come out where you can see some predictions on some shorter clips. So like those two, comment. And listen, we've already had some feedback, Gene. Like you said, Jacob's already going at it with one of the listeners on comments. So we'd love to go back and forth. So keep providing that support.
Yeah, I was looking, I was looking for his comments this week here after that Charger Raiders game. And Bobby, man, we always thank you for hopping on and taking the time. I know Bobby's like, damn, they went long tonight.
We did.
But anyway, hey, folks, don't forget tomorrow night's game. Enjoy that game tomorrow. It might be one of the ugliest Thursday night games that you've seen in a while.
And listen, if Bryan comes on the show and gets that upset right with the Dolphins, I mean, we might as well crown him the champion of the season.
I mean, he came in without hesitation.
He did.
He said, "Give me the Dolphins." So, all right, guys. Hey, thank you guys for joining us, and we'll see you back here next week on it would be the Sports Kings NFL Week 4 prediction show. We'll see you next week.